Assignment number 20. Directions. 1. Read the article. 2. Use the highlight tool and comments tool to annotate the article. 3. Answer the stop and check questions. 7.2.1 Explain article. Continents on the move. Wagner's idea and evidence. Alfred Wegener, born in 1880, was a meteorologist and explorer. In 1910, he noticed that South America and Africa appeared to fit together like puzzle pieces. He was certainly not the first person to notice this, but he was intrigued by the idea and thought a lot about it. He wondered if the two continents were once joined and then moved apart. He called this hypothesis continental drift. He set out to find evidence to support or refute this idea. This article outlines the evidence that Wegener and his supporters collected to support his continental drift hypothesis. Fit of the continents. The continents appear to fit together, and not just South America and Africa. If the continental margins are included, the fit is even better. Distribution of fossils. Wegener found fossil evidence that the continents were once joined. See the diagram showing fossil evidence. The same type of plant and animal fossils are found on continents that are now widely separated. These organisms would not have been able to travel across the oceans. So how did the fossils get so far apart? Fossils of the seed fern Glossopteris are found across all the southern continents. These seeds are too heavy to be carried across the ocean by wind. Mesosaurus fossils are found in South America and South Africa. Mesosaurus could swim, but only in fresh water. Cynogoths and Lytrosaurus were reptiles that lived on land. Both of these animals were unable to swim at all. Their fossils have been found across South America, Africa, India, and Antarctica. Wegener thought that all these organisms must have lived side by side. The lands later moved apart and separated the fossils. Continue reading on the next page. Stop and check. How did fossil evidence lead Wegener to hypothesize that the continents were once attached to each other? Type answer here, please. Distribution of rocks and structures. Wegener found rocks of the same type and age on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. He thought that it could not be a coincidence. He said that the rocks must have formed side by side. These rocks then drifted apart on separate continents. Wegener also matched up mountain ranges across the Atlantic Ocean. The Appalachian Mountains were just like mountain ranges in eastern Greenland, Ireland, Great Britain, and Norway. Wegener concluded that they formed as a single mountain range. This mountain range broke apart as the continents split. The mountain range separated as the continents drifted. Climate zones. There are different climate zones around the planet. Warm tropical climates are mostly found near the equator. Glaciers are mostly found closer to the poles. Wegener assumed that these trends were also true in the ancient past. Glaciers. Wegener looked at evidence from ancient glaciers. Glaciers are currently found in very cold climates near the poles. There is evidence left from ancient glaciers on land that is currently near the equator. Did glaciers once exist near the equator? Wegener knew this was extremely unlikely. However, if the continents moved over time, land masses that were once near the poles and contained ancient glaciers could now be located near the equator. Tropics. Coral reefs are found only in warm water. Coral swamps are also found in tropical and subtropical environments. Wegener discovered ancient coal deposits and coral reef fossils in climates that would be much too cold to support them today. Wegener thought that ancient coral and coal plants must have existed at approximately the same latitude where they are found today. He again stated that it was the continents that moved. The problem with the hypothesis. Wegener had a lot of evidence to support his hypothesis, but he had a problem. He could not explain how the continents could move through the oceans. He suggested that continental drift occurred like an icebreaker plows through sea ice, like shown in the photo. He thought the continents could cut through the ocean floor. Some scientists argued against the claims made in Wegener's hypothesis. They asked questions such as, if the continents have moved so much, why aren't they more deformed? Other scientists disagreed with the claim, saying that they could not feel or see the land moving.